What's going on, guys? It is Larry MF White here, and I am here with a good friend of mine, Joe Boreal. How's it going, brother?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm so excited to have you on here today. Like, literally, like Phoenix metro area is a huge area that you work out of. And I hear that you are in the top 40 agents in all of metropolitan Phoenix. Are those numbers kind of correct?
Right around in there. Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Dude, that's a huge accomplishment because I mean, when I had my team there in Phoenix, I think we ended our last year at like 320 deals or something. And I wasn't even in the top 10 because it was so competitive. There was so much competition. When I started traveling and going to other markets, I realized that other markets were not that competitive. I was like, shit, I should have just moved states a long time ago. Like, my life would have been so much easier.
Yes. Yeah. We've actually thought about that. Phoenix is really competitive. Everything starts here.
Yeah.
Everybody comes to Phoenix. If you're one of the big hedge funds and one of the big iBuyers, one of those guys, everybody comes to Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix, Vegas, and Florida, like everybody, like those are like the test pilots. Like, oh, maybe we can buy thousands of homes this year. Let's try it there. Like, which is kudos. Like, it gives you guys, you guys are continuing to evolve and change. And, I look at a lot of the things that you guys are doing there and implement in Houston and with the other teams and groups that I work with around the country. So that's super cool. I like it. But do me a favor. How long have you been in real estate, man?
Let's see. I think I'm 17 years this year. Yeah.
17 years. So early 2000s, you got into this. Everybody was making so much money at that time. So you figured, hey, I want to make a lot of money too. Am I on the right track there?
I was actually before then. Before the boom happened of like 2004 and 5. I'd already been in the business a couple years. It
Okay.
was an unusual thing. I was doing something else. And my wife was always, she was in title and escrow, and she said, "Nah, you got to become an agent." So ended up doing that before I even knew the boom was going to happen. And
Okay.
yeah, it just got kind of crazy really fast.
So then you got in, you rode this boom up, which is awesome. And then 2007, 8 came around. What happened to your business then, man?
Let's see, I went down about 75–80% in sales in 2007.
That's a pay cut, eh?
We noticed that. Yeah, that ends up missing in the old bank account. And
Yeah.
then 2008 happened. It was kind of a shift for us because obviously the market crashed, but people needed help. And
Yeah.
so we just switched and dove right into short sales. And we just did a ton of short sales at the time for the next 4 years, 5 years, until the market started reacting to that. But man, that's all we did was short sales. People were
That was the
buying
only thing
houses.
that was around
That
then.
was it.
Like that and REOs, right?
It was, I think we were at about 83 or 87% of sales were all distressed properties.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, absolutely. So that brings up an interesting topic as far as I'm concerned, right? So in 2007, 8, we had this huge shift in the market. And since then, like it's literally been like a trajectory like this. We have one of the most unstable political climates I've ever seen in my life.
Agree with
The
that.
stock market hasn't looked back since that. Do you remember in the stock market when we used to be like, man, I can't imagine like hitting 2000, like 2000 is not even the floor anymore. Right. And so like you reacted to that and got in quickly. But imagine if you would have reacted to that in 2006, 2007. Do you see any similarities? Like, what are you prepping you and your team for the next couple of years?
Yeah, we're our market's still strong. That's the thing it's there was a systemic issue that caused the collapse in '07. We don't foresee that happening, at least, but I'm not projecting that. I'm anticipating a slowing. And if you look at our appreciation over this past year, we still appreciated, but it's just a way narrower gap than it was in previous years. We're not getting 12% appreciation typically, like we were seeing in other years. Now
Yeah.
we're getting that 4 to 5, 6, depending on some areas. So what we're really seeing is that some houses are still getting multiple offers, the quality ones, but it's not every single one. And you really have to make sure now that, when you put a house on the market, that you're pricing it well. You can't just try and shoot 10, 15% over and know that the market's going to catch up with that eventually. That's not the case. Even for flip properties that are beautiful and gorgeous, you have to be within a realm to get something sold.
Okay.
We be able to tell our clients that.
Good to know, man. So let's jump back into your story here. So you guys got heavy into short sales and stuff there for probably what, 3 or 4 years, I would say.
Yeah.
And as the market, so when did you start building your team at the end of the day? Was it during the short sale, or was it on the, like, when things started coming back a little bit?
Yeah, it's when they came back. I built the team up to handle the short sale stuff. We just had more admin and a buyer's agent. And then after that, then we started acquiring more buyer's agents and another admin staff. And then my wife really started coming in and working more full time on the team. And so that's kind of how we've just kept that going for the last few years.
Okay. And then at one point you had a really amazingly good looking coach at Tom Ferry that helped out quite a bit too, right?
Without a doubt. Yeah. And if I had just listened to him more, I probably would have this massive, gigantic team, that was just cranking things out.
I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to say anything there, but yes, you're probably right.
Wow, we were just talking here probably 2 weeks ago, my wife and I, she's like, if you just listen to a coach.
You got it all figured out, man.
Now, 17 years in, finally.
No, but you have built, and sometimes we do have to learn lessons on our own, right? Timing is off, because with the amount of production that you guys are doing, and just give everybody an idea, how many deals have you guys closed so far this year?
I think we're at about 124, somewhere around there, because we have.
So you
probably got back from a trip, so I know we had some closings here in the last few days. We got another one today. I've got to run my numbers here. I should have done that before I get on the
Yes, you should have done that before you got on the phone with your ex-coach. Yes.
I'm playing a little catch up here today. I had my task list and I got all those done. Numbers weren't one of them, but we should hit about 35 million this year, 36 million, and I think we'll get 140. I think is what we got in the pipeline. Maybe 143 by the end of the year. We'll see.
Okay.
Under contract this month.
So man, that's amazing, right? To kind of be able to capitalize on this. And how many people are on your team? So it's you, the wifey.
Yep.
Who else?
A listing specialist. We just lost 2 buyer's agents actually over the last 2 weeks because we are making some changes, and we anticipated some people were going to leave, which 2 did. And then we currently have two buyer's agents, admin, and then a TC. Our staff right now, and we are undermanned when it comes to the buyer's agent side. We really need more help. So that's frankly going to be my focus over the next few weeks, is to try and bring more people in.
So if people are watching this right now and they want to hustle, they want to work, you're open for applications, is what you're saying.
Yes, humble, hungry, and smart. That's what
humble, hungry, and smart. I like it.
Book, right?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So we're growing here. You have this massive team. What would you say, or because we have an industry where 80% of people don't make it 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have others like yourself that continuously change and adapt and move forward. What sets you apart from everybody else? No offense, I don't think you're that special, right? I don't think I'm that special. Anybody can do similar things that we've done. What sets you apart from the competition?
Honestly, I think anybody that's succeeding in anything, it's just the desire to just succeed. That's really it, because it's hard. This job is definitely difficult, and anybody that has any sort of success, it wasn't going to be easy. You have to get to a point where you're just going to say, no, I'm going to continue to go. In 2007, when our pay was cut by 4/5 basically.
Yeah.
We could have quit, but that wasn't an option. We found ways to make it work, and we just adapted because we wanted to retain and stay in this business. And that's the critical thing is you have to have that desire, that hunger to be something better than what you are right now, and you got to go strive to go get it. And that's what we keep trying to do.
Are you interested or committed?
Right.
Right. Actually, like Tom threw this one. Are you interested, committed, or obsessed?
Yeah.
Right. Because if you're obsessed, like you will find a way to make this work. Right. Like you will jump through walls, like you will go through any barriers that come in your way. And so like committed isn't even enough. Like committed is the new cute, right? Like, oh yeah, that's cute. You're committed, right? You built a business plan. You make calls every single day. What do you do that's special? What's your USP? What's your unique selling proposition, right? That creates more value for your clients than anybody else, dude. That's cool. And so when you talk about like your USP, right? Like, so you have this desire, what's your unique selling proposition? Like, why do more people do business with you than the majority of agents in your area?
Well, anybody we hire, and this kind of sounds hokey, but you really have to have a servant's heart. You have to be willing to serve the people that come to us.
Okay.
And that is so important. How many bad experiences do we have throughout the day, throughout our shopping experience, throughout our travel experience? And I just got back from Vegas, last night, and I won't mention the airline, but I think the stewardesses were not friendly. The chair was uncomfortable, and we hadn't flown this airline before, and we're not going to fly it again just because of the one experience that we had. I fly all the time, and to now know that we're not going to use that airline at this point because of the one experience we had, that eliminates quite a few travel options that we could have taken with that particular airline. It really is so important to, when you're talking to somebody, from that starting point until they finish and then beyond, that they're having a quality experience. And the ones that do that the best are the ones that are going to retain clients and continue to have success in any market.
Yeah. And so if I'm hearing you correctly, it's that customer service experience, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
And that's not just before, during, but that's also after, which a lot of people forget about at the end of the day.
Well, think about it. You're spending a ton of money to get these leads to come in, whether it's referral or you're just spending in advertising, and you finally get them, right?
Yeah.
You close on a house, and then most agents just let them go and forget about them. Like, you just spent all this money to make a return, but then the real money is in the next 15, 20, 30 years of referrals and repeat business with those clients that you don't have to pay that money for to get again. You just have to
you want to hear a crazy stat? So I'm sure you know Dan Noma, who's one of the mega agents out there, right? And he was part of the reason I couldn't make the top 10, right? Because his team's doing 3,600 deals a year. But I was listening to Dan the other day, and him and I go back and forth sometimes. But like when you look at these iBuyers and stuff, even though it may not be the highest value for their home that clients are getting, like they measure their success on their net promoter score. And so they survey all of their clients. 9 out of 10 clients actually will refer their friends and family to do business with the open paths, the offer, like the open doors, the offer paths, etc., because of the experience.
Right.
So I think that fits into exactly what you're saying. If you can create that unique experience and that good experience, man, like price is not always the biggest objective. That might be the surface level, but otherwise, like used car lots wouldn't exist, right? Because those are terrible deals for people, but they make it easy. At the end of the day,
it's convenience. People will pay for convenience, and just like the iBuyers out there, that it's not a good deal financially. Typically, for most people, they can get, they can sell their house for more and make more money, but they're willing to give up an additional 7-10%.
Yeah, because
of the convenience.
Yeah,
really, it's working. So
yeah,
there's a pain point there that these companies have found that a significant chunk of people are willing to say, yeah, I'm going to forego that financial gain for the convenience side of it. And that says a lot. And then we're not talking a couple of dollars. These are, tens of thousands of dollars that people at times are foregoing. That's significant.
That is really significant. So that's cool, man. Like I love that, coming from a place of serving other people, giving back, right? Like creating this great customer service experience. The other part that I want to kind of shift to, because I think it's so lost on our real estate community, you've been able to adapt and kind of change your plans, create this experience, and now you just continue to grow and grow every single year. So kudos to you. But you've also started to set yourself up, right? Like you do a lot on the investing side, which obviously I do a ton as well. And so you've been able to have your money start working for you. And I don't feel like most people, especially real estate professionals, ever have that business acumen, right? It's paycheck to paycheck. Maybe paychecks are different sizes and they're not as regular, but right, like real estate agents are notorious for not having retirement plans or exit strategies. And so that's why we're selling homes when we're 70 years old. How did you kind of break into starting to invest in yourself?
Well, it's funny you said, after licking my wounds in 2007 and 8, and, I jumped in a little bit late, but I finally just said, hey, I keep finding these deals and getting them to my good clients and saying, hey, bud, you want to buy this house? And, I wasn't in the financial position to be able to do that. And that was just my excuse, because really, it's funny now, I'm buying houses with no money of my own and then refinancing them, and I have no money into it. And now I'm making, like the deal that's closing today, I go make $650 on a deal that I have no money in. It was just a matter of time and my effort to go do that. Okay, that will carry on for the rest of my life until that loan gets paid.
Yeah, let's be clear. That's $650 a month for the rest of your life, not $650 total.
Right.
It's a month for the rest of your life.
And I have 25% equity in the house right now.
Yeah.
And so that's for the rest of my life until that gets paid down. And then I'm, making $2,000 a month, whatever it is on that house. Those are deals that were there back in 2002 and 3 when I got started. I just didn't see them. And now I look at it, every opportunity, any listing I go to is, can I buy it?
Yeah.
I'll figure out how, but can I buy that? Would that be a good investment for, myself, my family to take that on? And then of course we have the other options for the sellers. And like I'm looking behind there, I've got my list of homes that I own, and I look at that every single day. And I've got some other slots there that just says to be determined.
Okay.
And I've got it listed out, and I've got another company that we own. That one company just is the holding company, and then the other one's the flips. And it's just, I'm keeping track. And I never used to do that until, a few years ago. And I started paying attention to say, hey, you've got to track it. Some coach once told me, you got to track your numbers. Yeah. And once you start tracking, then you start actually succeeding in the things that you're tracking.
Well, yeah, right. What you focus on gets results. And if you don't know where you're at, it's hard to determine. Like you could come to me and say, Larry, I want to lose weight. And I'm like, Joe, stop eating for today. Right? Like, and tomorrow you'll weigh less. But that didn't accomplish what you were looking for. Or if we didn't weigh yourself, you might feel better, but we may not know if we ever accomplish your goal. So I love to hear it's up, it's visual, you're looking at it, you're focused on it every single day. How many rental homes are we up to now?
We're at 6 homes, and because I do some flips as well, we unload those. But we're at 6 right now, 6 doors that are all at least a 25% equity position. And I don't think I have any money in any of those homes at this point.
That's beautiful.
My philosophy is very, I'm a conservative person. I mean, I got the cardigan on. I'm still a very conservative person. So anytime I do a deal, I always win. So I don't get into anything risky.
Yeah.
Whenever I buy a house, my entire goal is I want to leave nothing in it. I want to just buy it, get it in there, and then pull my money out as soon as I can, and that's it. I don't want to. I like those equity positions. I like the cash flow coming in, and that's how I roll.
I love it, man. And actually, like I just opened up a private money branch, where we can lend money in 17 different states for that reason alone. Like there's people want to do this. They don't know how to do this. And so I'm not sure if it'll be before this video or after this video, but I'm actually coming out with a piece on how people can pre-qualify on how much they can invest. Like what do they need to be able to invest using other people's money and stuff there, because it's a lack of education. You learn through hard knocks,
Yeah.
right? If somebody joins your team, literally they have the access not just to do more business, but to pick your brain, right? And use you as a coach, mentor, trainer at the same time. So man, if I was there, I'd be lighting up your phone right now. Like, hey, so what did you need? I'm humble, I'm hungry, right? I'm smart.
What we're looking for. And it's funny now, I've my listing specialist, she's on her 3rd flip now, and I've created a monster. And we're actually in Vegas together. She goes, oh, by the way, I'm writing another offer on a house. You just make sure you still do your work. I want you to succeed in flips too.
Yeah.
So,
oh man.
Flips are good.
That's great, man. I love to hear that. And I love to hear you passing that on, because there's more than enough deals for everybody. Obviously, there's hedge funds buying thousands of homes a month in your area. Like if we pick off a couple of great ones that are in there, right? Like we focus so much on helping everybody else invest in property, helping everybody else invest in their future. Like real estate agents have to have a plan to do that themselves as well. So
why do we do this? I mean, why do we go to work? You know, if I hit the lottery, which I don't play, but if I hit the lottery, I wouldn't be doing this job, right? I mean,
sure.
There's just a reality that there's other things that I'd rather do. And I think most of us are that way. You know, might always be tied into real estate. But so how do we take what we want out of this business to benefit our lives externally? And, you know, it's a really nice thing to be able to say, hey, I'm going to help this person, because it's a win-win for all of us. And I get to benefit from that. They're benefiting from that. I mean, what's better than that?
Yeah.
And my goals right now are to try and acquire more properties. They're going to, you know, translate into a retirement type income later. Well, if somebody needs to sell their house and I can buy that house and they're content and happy with the process and they want me to succeed as well, what's better than that?
Yeah, creating that win-win and coming at it from that servant type heart, as you talked about, that you want your team members to have, dude. I love it, man. That's great. That's really great. So just to kind of recap for folks, so we can keep this short and sweet for everybody. Willingness to adapt was one of the biggest things that I saw, right? Shifting with the market, staying ahead, staying with the times, and realizing that the market is changing really fast. Customer service above all else, right? Like whether you're calling one person a day or talking to 100 people a day, how do you make sure that customer experience is the same time after time after time?
Yep.
And then reinvesting in yourself, reinvesting in your future, and not just helping everybody else do it, because the deals were there the entire time. Like, man, imagine the deals that you passed on in 2008 and 2009.
Let's not, Larry. Let's not imagine those. Some of those deals my clients still own and I help them with, and it just drives me crazy. Like,
yeah, there has to be crazy amounts of deals like that were just had there, which is cool, right? One of the reasons that, I mean, we were talking about like why I like some of the Midwest right now, because a lot of these hedge funds aren't there yet, but the returns that I'm getting will continue to open people's eyes, and they'll continue to shift. And when they do, I want to gift wrap these properties for them and, you know, like sail off into the sunset.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Good deal, Joe. Well, man, I appreciate your time. It is always a pleasure, my brother. If I'm going to make sure that you're tagged on all of these videos, and if people are interested in working with you and talking with you, is it cool that they reach out to you and pick your brain
Absolutely.
and see how you guys can do some business together?
I should be a real estate agent, because I love talking about real estate all day long.
Good deal. Well, again, thank you for your time. Give my love to the family and stuff over there. And if anybody here, reach out to Joe, reach out to myself, call, text, email, send us a smoke signal. Let us know how we can help you out however way possible. And we will look forward to talking to you guys soon. Have a great day.
Thanks, Larry.